Now. It says I'm live. Let's wait for it to come up on there to confirm that. Check audio.
Yeah. Yeah, all good.
All good. Right, we'll cancel that so we don't get a
Good,
loop.
5x5.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Grumpy Old Git in the Corner on his Friday afternoon live. How are we all today? Cold, I know that. Bleach Demon, good afternoon. Nearly didn't make it. What, you caught in a snowdrift? Oh, that's my phone telling me I've gone live, apparently. Okay, get on. Lost Souls, good afternoon, my darling. Who else we got in here? But it is cold out there. I mean, it's warmed up a bit here through the day, but it looks like clear blue skies, so another big frost tonight. Come off your bike. What's that on the ice, mate?
Not too much damage, I hope.
Bikes are replaceable. That's the way I used to look at it. I'd rather break the bike.
Either.
Well, yeah. We've got 9 in here now. Well, as you know, there wasn't a live last week because I was off on my travels. I had a brilliant weekend.
So did I.
So did you, yeah. As I said last time, it was a bit of an adventure for me, not having used trains for many, many years. But it was nowhere near as bad as it could have been for me. Jason, good afternoon, mate. Do you think they'll drop the bomb? Only if they hear the song. There you go, Jason. I remembered the words. I never was a Pink Floyd, a big fan of Pink Floyd, but I did enjoy that album. It was a damn good album. But yeah, it started on the station on the way out, actually. Good afternoon, Rubber Chuck. With the ticket office. First of all, I said, make sure she's got me a return, so she's not just getting rid of me. Then she told the guy that it's been a long time since I've been on trains, and he said it's all right, the doors open themselves and they don't have steam pulling them now. I thought, yep, you're really putting me at ease, you are. But it all went well. And I'd be happy to get on one again, travel about. And yeah, it was a good weekend, great weekend. Nice to meet up with people. Phil, good afternoon, mate. Or, well, pre-evening, you could call it now, couldn't you? For pre-evening, does that sound right? 4 o'clock?
That's what John Keep called it.
That's fair enough, then it's pre-evening. So, how are you all doing anyway? We know poor Bleach Demon has fallen off the bike.
Yeah, but the bike's knackered.
Seriously, where's that?
Just above
oh yeah, Black Ice Spike's knackered.
Yeah. Black Ice Spike's knackered. I'm aching, but I'm free to fix.
Yep. To be honest, I always used to use my dirt bike in winter years ago. I wasn't too worried about breaking anything on it.
But you had a choice. You were lucky.
Yes, I did have a choice. Soak in the hot bath, yeah. Put some nice bath bombs in there. You come out smelling nice as well, then.
Unless you've got gravel rush.
Radix at the ready.
You don't want Radox in with gravel rush.
No. You don't really want anything like that in there with gravel rush, believe me.
Salt.
Ooh, it smarts a bit.
Yeah, but it helps clean it.
Yeah,
Or
it does.
TCP. TCP was the old one in water
To
to
what
clean.
have I got on the list here? Oh yeah, that was a weird one. I was told that all the trains have Wi-Fi on them now. Yes, they have. And me being technically inept, managed to get my phone hooked up to the Wi-Fi, my channel phone. But their Wi-Fi system won't accept WhatsApp. You can't use WhatsApp on the Wi-Fi on the trains for some reason. There was nothing in the instructions or paperwork or anything like that to say why. As soon as I hooked up to Dan's portable Wi-Fi magical gizmo that he's got, Wi-Fi expander, that's it. Yeah, I was able to access WhatsApp, but I couldn't do it on Gold Star for me. What's that one for then, Ollie? Why do I get a little gold star? Because I managed to connect my phone. Yeah, all without any technical support. I was so disappointed that it didn't work. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. But now I don't know whether you've all heard. Apparently there was a warning put out for this back last year, but it couldn't have been put out very well because I didn't hear it. But apparently the UK Health Security Agency has put out a warning of a national incident has been declared for measles. Apparently it started here in the West Midlands, which makes it even weirder that I hadn't heard about it. Heather said she heard something about it. But they've been confirmed just over 200 confirmed episodes. Cases. That's the word. My head's all over the place today. Just over 200 confirmed cases and just over 100 suspected cases. Now, but these figures are from October last year to today. So whether they were all in the beginning and they managed to catch it, whether they're still running rampant, but why have they put out a national incident warning?
Because they're not containing it and they're afraid it will spread. And yes, you're right, Lost Souls. It's the anti-vaxxers.
Oh, it's always the anti-vaxxers, Lost Souls. We are the biggest excuse for any bullshit they want to use. Yes, Jason, that was confirmed. Again, that came from the East Coast, I believe, so we know where that come from. Yes, there is a big rise in shingles. And I personally think that's probably where the measles come from as well. Yes, Lost Souls, absolutely. And they've been pushing everything and anything now at the moment. You know, they've got the cures all of a sudden for this, that, and the other. Well, they're not cures, as we know. They're just there to keep you dragging on. But actually, I think my Hoover is a Vax, isn't it? Is it a Vax, that one? Yeah. So I have got a Vax. Stuart, good afternoon, mate. It's bloody cold everywhere, buddy. Can't you? You use a pressure washer in your living room. So I know they make Hoovers.
Said a Hoover?
No, even during lockdown, I had to go in and have fucking hell, what do they call it? To protect you from when you've cut yourself. Jesus.
TB jab.
No, not the TB jab.
Tetanus.
Tetanus, that's it. My head is just planked today. I had to have a tetanus. Thank you, wee one. Good afternoon, sweetheart. And I even made them show me the file that they were taking the liquid out of. I wanted to see the label before they stuck the needle in me. Yes, it is horrible, Jason. But it was a lot more prevalent years and years ago. You know, that we were always told, look out for it at school when we were kids. Yeah. It's like a lot of things back then, though, and a lot of people have been inoculated against a lot of things, which, yes, it has done good and it has more or less eradicated a lot of things. But then I think back, well, what else did it do? Yeah, there was always another problem arising pretty soon afterwards. Grand Wizard in the house. Good afternoon, Mikey. Oi, oi. Yeah, I literally, because of my job, I used to have them in a booster. But I only go now if I just go in if they look at the time it's been since my last one. Normally they'll just give me a booster. I don't quite know how it would react at the moment with my blood condition now, but I'm always wary now of any medication. One, they didn't tell me with the meds that I'm on, I can't take ibuprofen and stuff like that. I can only take cocodamol as a painkiller. Well, I could take tramadol, but that screws my head up with the amount of times I was on that. Yes, Jason, absolutely. It's not a nice thing, and it's not a nice thing to see, let alone go through. I've never been through it, so I can't sort of say how that bit feels, but for tiles. But yeah, I can imagine. But the good news is I've on my bloods, I've got my appointment through now for the big test they wanted to do early next month. So although they won't be able to cure it, they can certainly find out what's doing it and help the treatment along, hopefully. As far as I know, they can't cure it, but I haven't really asked, so just get ripped. Yeah, they keep asking me, Stuart. I mean, the state my body's in at the moment, and the cheeky bastards even text me the other day to come in for a health check in my GP surgery. Good evening, Stitch. How are you? Right, now, people, I did say this in a video. For those of you that haven't seen that video, I'm cutting out cigarettes. I am stopping smoking. At the moment, I'm on the just cut right down stage because other things I smoke for medical reasons. I can't just drop like that. Otherwise, there would be repercussions. I'm going to roll one now and light it. You'll see me taking a puff out of it now and again. But after you see me put this one out, if you see me going to roll another one, Heather's had the same instructions. Jump at me down into the chat, jump at me anywhere. If you're on the panel, let me know, because I want to stop smoking the subconscious ones, the ones that I roll and smoke without thinking, that are just force of habit. And you guys can help me do that, because I do forget. But if I'm actually thinking of having one or need one, I will announce beforehand, so you know it's not a subconscious thing. Yes, Stuart. I remember that, the doctor telling me mum and dad to keep me away from my brother and sister, which lasted all of 30 seconds, because as soon as I got in the door, I give them both a big hug. But again, I didn't even know until not that many years ago that I actually had pleurisy as a child. I remember being in hospital for quite a few weeks, but I could never understand or knew the reason why, because I was that young. And it was my mother that told me. I'd actually filled in some medical forms and I'd put no to have you ever had pleurisy, etc. And she said, well, that's wrong. You have had it. And yeah, I didn't know that for 35 years, getting on 40 years. Yep, thank you, Beardy. I knew you would, mate. And I also know, before anybody gives me a bollocking, it is something I should have done a long time ago. But my breathing has got really, really bad of late. The coughing at night, when I do sleep, it keeps me awake. And also it does keep Heather awake. And probably the neighbours with the amount of times I do it. So yeah, it's all for the good. Like I say, it's not going to happen overnight. I've been smoking since I was 12 years old with about a 4-year break. But I didn't have any problem sitting on the train without one for a couple of hours. So I thought, well, why would I need to smoke 15 in front of a camera in 3 hours? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I won't go vaping or anything like that, Holly. Heather had some, or still has somewhere, I think, and it with the scarring in my throat, my esophagus, and my lungs, it irritates it more so than smoking does.
I got one of them, Jason.
Yeah, she has got one. But I'll be honest, Jason, at the moment, I've cut down on that medication by over half. And I literally did that overnight. And to be honest, I haven't seen any change in my legs. I did get up the other morning and had to have a half one when I got up, just to stop them. I felt them starting to sort of twitch, so I just done that to stop them. This morning I didn't. They were fine. And I think I lasted quite well, a few hours until I needed a ciggy as well. So, you know, I want to get rid of the ones that I don't need, that aren't a craving, they're just force of habit. Get rid of those ones first, like straight away after a meal and stuff like that, and then go the rest of the way. Good afternoon, Paul. How are you, mate?
My computer's logged me out of Discord.
It's logged you out of Discord?
Yeah. I've just gone to go in it and it's asking me to log in.
Huh. How strange.
I know.
How strange. Well, let us know if you need an invite in.
No, it's gone straight in.
That's fair
Just
enough.
it normally says open. Thought it was going to ask for passwords and things.
And oh yes, if Rev normally does, Reverend Simon Sideways normally does a live stream on a Saturday. I presume tomorrow's not going to be any different, but I haven't heard anything about getting his main channel to go live yet. He's having issues with it. So if he does go live, it will be on one of his other channels, or usually all of them. But you won't get an alert from his main channel, unfortunately. I think he would have contacted me if it was up and running again. But at the moment, I believe there is going to be one Sunday night with Police Abusing Powers. Unless he jumps in here later on and tells us any different. that will probably go ahead at 8 o'clock as usual. It'd be nice to see him back. But it was also nice to know that he'd been away and spent time with family over Christmas. And you can't knock anybody for doing that. Yeah, Rev on a Rant, Man Up, and there is another one as well, isn't there, Holly? I can't remember what it is, to be honest now. Pretty sure I couldn't give up smoking. I love it. Yeah, with me, Bleach Demon, it's more underlying conditions. As I got older, that's it. Simon Paul Evans, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's an old injury from years ago, but as I'm getting older, skin starts to harden up and it's making it worse for me, put it that way. So eventually I could even lose my voice, which you'd all love, I presume. But now this is the one I said I'm going to have bleach. And once I finish smoking this one, that will probably be it for the stream then.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah, thank you for your encouragement. Yeah, I will. When it gets down to half, I moo. But I did give up for, I think it was 3 years last time. I think it was 3 years. But personal circumstances drove me back to it. Right, let's see if I can get this fucking thing working this time. Right. Highlight. Copy. Paste. Put up. Oh, it let me do it this week. Fucking hell.
I didn't have to copy it.
Yeah, Stuart, that's when it really hits me, mate, because it's weird. I'll lay in bed and I struggle for breath. I don't know why. I get up in the morning, I'm probably breathless for about an hour, and then it just seems to level out a bit. But I'm not hacking shit up as much in the mornings, obviously. She loved it, mate. That's why I checked that she'd paid for a return ticket. I do remember her saying something to the lads down there along the lines, now you got him, you're stuck with him, keep the bastard or something. You ever been tested for COPD? No, I haven't, Lost Souls. I do believe, as we said the other day, because of the way I organise things when I'm like travelling or going on holiday, I do tend to look in to the minute details. I look at what could go wrong, contingency plans. So in a way, yeah, quite possibly. I mean, it weren't until later years that I realised I had a bit of an issue with dyslexia. And I only looked into that because I was informed that my son was slightly dyslexic. And I've always had a bit of an issue with spelling. As Heather will tell you, quite often I have a bit of issue speaking with words and using them as they should be. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Yes. Now, that could be down. I have had blood clots, apparently, small ones that have travelled through my lungs. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I did wake up one night and I was struggling to take a breath of any type. Now, rather than panic, I stood up, I opened the window in the bedroom, I went over, got some fresh air down my lungs, and after a minute or two, that subsided. But all my letters and that do say I am at high risk through blood clots. So obviously I've got to look for them going through the heart, going through the lungs, or learn what they are, because most of the time they're small enough just to cause that little bit of upset, but they will pass through, and the blood thinners deal with them. One of the ones I'm taking is actually designed to break down blood clots. Can do a lung function test. Well, they did one after I had my bypass, Holly. They gave me a plastic tube thing with a little plastic ball in and said, see how far up the scale you can blow the ball with one breath. They were quite impressed with the fact that I blew the ball straight out the end of the tube. But whether that's the sort of thing, I know they monitor it. But ever since I had the accident, yeah, I've always struggled with a bit of breathing. But yeah, it's got worse. So blow this ball. Oh, it was really weird. It was put your finger over this hole and blow it. I don't wear any GIMP mask. This is all natural. Sorry. You on the tramadol again, Ollie? Yeah. I used to have a hell of an issue with that stuff. I actually walked out the hospital once when I was in because they wouldn't give me any. They kept me waiting for 2 days. I said, sod you, I'm going home. I've got some at home. I'll take me home. Oh, yes, she says. Who else we got in here? We got no Rob W. He normally turns up. Sian said she might drop in a bit later on. And Jenny. But obviously, as always, I do realise it's a school day. Kids have got, picked up from school. People have got to go home from work. We got, we got the old Japanese have thrown something at the moon now, haven't they?
Yeah, they still haven't confirmed it came down.
Well, they've confirmed it's landed, but they haven't confirmed in how many pieces.
It was okay when it was 2 meters off the surface, and now they're still checking on it.
Yeah.
It's been best part of an hour, if not more.
Yeah, well, they haven't even said they've got contact with it, have they? So that's 5 apparently that we've got on the moon.
Rubbish.
Bits
of rubbish.
Bits of rubbish, yeah. It's littering. So before anybody gets there, you've got a sushi bar. The Indians have been up there, so you're going to have a takeaway on the corner and a corner shop. You got the Chinese up there, so there's your Chinese takeaway. You got the Burger King from America.
Stuart, good afternoon. They reckoned it was causing a hell of a problem, and you didn't notice. Did you go out?
Yes, Stuart, they did. There was quite a lot about it on the internet, actually. It was all right 1 inch off the surface, travelling at 200 miles an hour. Yeah. That's the way quite a few of them ended up there. Do you remember the cartoon film Wall-E? That's what I see. Everybody living in space and the planet's full of drunk. Paint in your hand with it, letting it dry. I'll tell you with another good one for that, look, Mikey, is the liquid mask. That's quite good for that. Yeah, there was protests all over, Stuart. I presume it was outside offices and that, not walking around, but yeah, he's they got some nice ones on the go. His mate Stu's done a nice one, Holly. That's cool. I think the next big one that's going to go off here is, oh God, who is it? Telford. Obviously against the grooming gangs. I think it is that one. Yeah, I only have it on in the background, Stuart, just to pick up the headlines, as I say, and then I'll go and look at the story. But doing a live like this, if a headline breaking news flashed up and I know it's a right story, then I give it out. In fact, go for it, Holly. Go for it. Go for it. You've got to. Yeah, I think Tommy Robertson and that was putting it out, weren't they? I mean, I don't always agree with Tommy. I don't particularly like the guy. But the subjects that he's up there bringing up, exposing, absolutely kudos for him for that. You know, he's got a voice. You know, mainstream media are listening to him. I dare say it's being brought up privately and quietly between MPs about it. So he has got a voice. And he's prepared to use it. Holly in a little tank. I can make some wooden blocks. It's all done with levers anyway. Oh, you don't want the levers, do you, Dolly? You just want the gun. And put a cushion on the seat so you can look out the turret. Oh dear. What else we got written here that I was going to bring up? Oh, national statistics, yeah. Them fudging the numbers. They got caught out, didn't they? They got a warning from the Statistics Authority watchdog, which I presume are the ones that okay stuff for the ONS site, the Office of National Statistics. Now, I did say a while back that when they publicised these numbers a couple of weeks ago, before they went on the ONS, that they'd been manipulative. Oh, God, I'm losing words again. They'd been fucked around with using malinformation, and the fact that they were moving people from different lists to hide them from the numbers. And I was quite surprised when I heard mainstream media say that, yeah, they'd been reprimanded for it. It just proves that some of the stuff I'm finding or I'm putting two and two together and working it out, they are actually doing. And again, mainstream media, very, very surprised to hear them go against the we have stopped 3/4 of the boats. Well, I said a long time ago, and everybody else did, it was nothing to do with the government. It was to do with the weather. And they pointed out, the same as me, that yes, we have had some real weird weather up the channel and everywhere else during the summer. And that was the only thing that stopped them. And mainstream media are actually back in that train of thought now, which is refreshing, if I'm honest. You know, they're still hiding bits and pieces, but they're getting nearer to the truth with some of the things they're saying. Same about moving them from hotels. I always said, if they're going to empty 50 hotels, it's not because they're sending them back. It's because they're moving them to another hotel. And again, that's been proved now. And it just shows the Tories up for the lies that they are. As far as I'm concerned, they've lied about everything. Again, the Rwanda plan. while dickhead Roland's on there spouting about how many thousands they're going to send there, I was actually watching someone on the internet from Rwanda, an official, saying we've only got the facilities for just over 1,000, and that would be for the first 2 years. So they're the ones that are going to receive them, and they're totally contradicting what Roland's telling us. We know Roland's been proved to be a liar, so I'm inclined to believe the Rwandans. And they know it's going to be pushed through, that they are still trying to go ahead with it, and they're still trying to cross the channel. So it isn't the deterrent they say it is. They have sent thousands back, but these are thousands that they've caught working illegally here, coming over on visitors' visas to see family, holidays, whatever, and haven't gone back. That's the bulk of the ones they've sent back, not the ones that have come across in the little boats. So they're absolutely lying through their teeth at the Home Office. That's sure. I've heard something, but again, I haven't seen anything to even remotely confirm it. But I have heard that rumor, and it is an exchange plan. It's not a deportation plan. It is an exchange plan. They will be sending us people from there, as well as us sending them over. And you think about it, Rwanda, how many sort of local civil wars have they been involved in? But, you know, the way everybody's talking now, we're going to be going to war anyway, by the sounds of it, you know, with what's going on in the Red Sea and shit like that. I mean, I don't report on it a lot because it doesn't involve me. But now they're firing on our boats. Our boats can't fire too much back because they haven't got the rockets and the ammunition. Because in their wisdom, our government sold off their fucking supply ships. So they are absolutely reliant on the UN and friendly countries to supply their ships, including the aircraft carriers, while they're out there. Yes, it will, Stuart. It's going to cost us millions and millions because they've openly said a lot of the ones they're going to send over are disabled, ones that can't work, ones that need medical treatment. I mean, you know, we're getting the shitty end of the stick, whichever way it goes. And it's a piss in the ocean. Like, they spent all these millions on that frigging barge just to accommodate 500. Which apparently they've now got to remove because they said the accommodation isn't good enough. How many millions does that cost just to house 500 out of the thousands and thousands that are here? And there's still, 3,000 odd that they've lost? They just don't even know where the fuckers are. And that was one question Roland absolutely refused to answer, even though he was asked multiple times. He just went into his little spiel. Yeah. And that's the thing, Holly. They're still doing nothing for the people of this country. They say they are, but they're not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Starmer's question was like being asked, where's your homework, when you just said I've lost it.
Yeah.
Where's your homework? I don't know where the bloody homework is. I've just told you I've lost it.
10 million a day. Yep.
You've told me we've lost these people now, and you're asking me where they are. They're lost.
I mean, if you think about the money that they wasted on that barge, it would have been a damn sight cheaper to have put them in a hotel to start with. You know, how is it that we, as normal citizens, I'll call us, normal educated people, can see this but those with the higher level of education, allegedly, I'll say there, can't. I'm sure they do, and they don't give a shit. They can't miss it, really. Yes, lost souls, they should be. They've come here illegally. They should be turned straight back down, sent back where they come from. We can't afford it anymore. This is why they've been fucking around with the numbers from the economy, trying to find money they haven't got. And that was another thing I said would happen. You wait, after Christmas, they'll say the economy's dropped. Yes, all hunky-dory. And within a couple of days of them put, oh no, boom, it's gone straight back up there. And now they're blaming it on Christmas sales dropping and smokers, would you believe?
Tax on tobacco.
Tax on tobacco. Well, you're the ones that are fucking banning it, mate. You ain't going to, I said years ago, you ban smoking, that big hole in the tax budget has got to be recovered from somewhere. And this is what they're trying to do. And that was before any of the fucking lockdown COVID shit. This was years ago I said that. Yeah, concentration camps. That is a bit of an iffy subject, Jason. When you think how human rights have been, I'm not saying they would, but you know, you got concentration camps in places like North Vietnam. They've got them in China. They call them prisons, but they're not. They're concentration camps. And the amount of human rights that are abused in there. I'm not saying the West would run one that way, but they should certainly be contained. They should not be allowed out in the public. They can't integrate. They can't abide by the rules of the fucking land or the laws. And they can't even abide by the rules of humanity in many cases. You know? Yeah, Simon, history debunked, Jason. I love the way he puts things. What was it the Rev called him one day? A word assassin. He uses words properly. Yeah, we haven't got no deterrent. That's the problem, isn't it?
We need lost souls on the top of the tank.
In a little tank.
On the top of the That's what Beardy's just put. Holly in a tank on top of the White Cliffs.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no deterrent in place. I mean, when they see them getting given more than our own citizens that need help, that isn't a deterrent. Knowing that you're going to get in a warm bed, that isn't a deterrent. You're going to be fed.
But you can't be horrible to them.
No, because it's fucking racist.
Because they're not here illegally, they're refugees.
Yeah, and the fact that the one that was launched over last weekend, where 5 lives were lost. How did the French get there that quick? Because they were stood there watching them fucking launch, and the boat was out in the sea ready to escort them. That's how they got there. That's how most of those were saved. 5 they couldn't, sadly. But yeah, that one was absolutely down to the French. And that was one they can't try and turn round on us. And yeah, that's happened before on the French side, isn't it? One of the other lot. Yeah, Tank Master, Holly. Tank Commander. Tank Commander is what they have, Holly. You're a commander. Yeah, exactly, wee one. And the thing is, once you get that many of them in here, they think they're going to be able to use them to take control and control them. No, not a chance. Simply because they're fanatical. And to be honest, the morale is that low in the British forces at the moment, I don't think half of them could be bothered. Apparently, Simon put it out the other day, there is a lot of forces personnel that are dropping down with mental health issues while still serving.
Sister's not doing her job.
Yeah. Of course it is, Jason. This has been planned. I said right at the beginning, this has been planned for years. It's all been in the pipeline. All they needed was some way to start introducing it all. And unfortunately, I can't say whether what happened was manufactured or whether it was natural. That would be wrong of me because there's so many theories out there about that. But that gave them the perfect excuse and the perfect time to bring it in. It was a very, very big distraction, and everybody was concentrating on that. They weren't looking at anything else. I don't think they would, Stuart. I think if they did, they'd have to be given a damn better reason than what they could give them now. Yeah, it is Lost Souls. If you're white, you're an automatic racist in the woke's eyes now. That's why we all got branded far right, just because what we believe, which isn't far right, far from it. But hey, if they want to brand us as that, good on them. I don't give a shit.
I'll accept the title.
Yeah, I'll accept it and the medal. Heather as general, Holly as tank commander, Stitch as driver, and Roger as gunner. Problem sorted. May your aim be true as your heart. Where's that? Hunger Games, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. I want to know what Beardy's doing while we're all out there on this tank.
Oh, he's sat at the back. He's building more models for us to use.
More tanks?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in charge of building the tank?
He's the armourer.
I'm not going to fit in one of Mikey's tanks.
Well, remember what he used to do? He used to fix the things.
He
used to fix the things for a living, and they do go wrong. Yeah, you could see that, couldn't you, Holly? A diorama of us lot around a tank. Crutches, bottles of pills and meds.
Don't give him ideas.
Moo sounds like a load of tankers. But yeah, I mean, we got Davos going on now as well, haven't we?
Daleks.
The Daleks, Davros. We are the superior race. Well, they fucking think they are, but I haven't seen any evidence of it yet. But yeah, I think there's going to be. I've just put that cigarette out, by the way. So if you see me pick another one up, shout at me, please, people. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more shit coming out of that. Obviously, they're in line with the WHO with this take over the fucking world when we want under medical conditions. Absolutely, that should be rejected by this country. No country should ever give up full control to a group like that. Dictator Khan, old Carnage of London, he's heavily involved in it all because he's in their 40 cities group. He's the chairman of them bunch of idiots. Tank with walking stick. We had Zimmer frames laid on their side. Stuart can get us all up to speed. Yep. Only takes me a few minutes to learn how to drive something with an engine and movable wheels and tracks. Not always in a straight line, but I'll get there. We're the special branch of tankers. Holly's on form today.
Tramadol's kicking in.
Yeah, the tramadol. Oh, fucking hell. I've totally got lost in these notes now.
Just bin them.
I'll tell you what. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. just a few notes scattered around the table. It's like a newscaster, isn't it, at the end of the day? Well, that was the news for this evening. Unfortunately, that's what I have to do to remember things. Right, they can go there. I don't need them. How many trees on your desk?
You downloaded that clip of the guy at the...
oh, the piss take it.
Yeah.
The WEF. Yeah, I dare
that?
say most of you have seen that, have you? The guy, I think he's a comedian that did the video at the WEF conference. EDF doubled prices last week. They shut down 6 out of 9 reactors for maintenance during winter. Yeah. Yes, we won. Let's see if I can... I can't remember where I put the bastard.
4K.
Oh, yeah, it was in there, wasn't it? Well, oh, now I've just cancelled fucking everything on that page. For fuck's sake. Oh, my God. Right.
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity.
Right, shut up a minute. Where are we? Where are we going? That one. That one. Right, hopefully you'll hear this. Let me know if you can't.
I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free. We will stay free. And you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself.
Now you tell me, wouldn't you love to have been up there and said that? Apparently there is a follow-up to it. I haven't seen it yet. Hear it fine. Thank you, wee one. You know what I'm like with this tech. It's now I've got to try and get back everything I fucking cancelled over there. Oh, Jesus. You got to love it when a plan comes together. What did I have up there? Right, I had that one. Sorry, guys.
You don't know, Holly?
It's an AI, Holly. It's mocked up, I think. It's a fake. A very good one. But that's just what went through my head, was how many people would love to stand up there and tell them face to face.
It'd be so good if it was real.
Oh, if it was real. It'd be brilliant.
But it would never make mainstream.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. He's a comedian that edits himself. Yeah, I had some. Yeah. I did realise it was a fake wee one, but it's a damn good one, and it's well thought out. I like that. There's been quite a few that have stood up at their own gatherings and that have spoke out about what they're trying to do, Mikey. I have seen quite a few of the genuine ones, or bits of them, and there are people that are standing up to them. Also in the EU as well. There's a lot of countries standing up to them now. I mean, prime example is the German farmers at the moment. They're doing brilliantly. Yeah, he has a black eye and apologises for... Oh, that's the one you sent me, wee one. Brilliant, thank you. I shall have a look at that one later and put it in the in my relevant files. Now I remember to name them. The only problem is I can't remember which fucking file they're in, and that's where Heather comes in handy. Honestly, my computer is cluttered with stuff everywhere, and I've got 2 laptops upstairs with literally hundreds and hundreds of mountain biking videos on, and not one of them have I put a title on, a date, or anything like that. Argentinian Miley gave them a gob forward. Kind of good too. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. But I think more people should do that. Take the piss out of them. I mean, I got accused the weekend of being the laughing grey-haired old fella on the lives. But yeah, I've got grey hair. I'm old. A lot of people won't end up with that privilege now. And yes, I'm laughing all the time because no matter what, I do enjoy being alive. And I'll laugh at things. I have the capability to laugh at things.
Plus, you and Dan were playing silly beggars in the background.
Well, yeah, we were playing silly fuckers. They didn't know what we were doing or talking about. But yeah, why shouldn't I fucking laugh? You know, that's you shouldn't mock somebody for that. Missy, good afternoon, sweetheart. But yeah, you know, people got their opinions of me. I don't give a shit. Argentinian chap's speech wasn't as clear cut as it was portrayed. Yeah, we're fine, Missy. Thank you. Smoking, cutting down on the fags is going really well. Obviously not in the background there so much, but from me, yes. And it's not really bothering me. You know, I'll keep moving my hands about, but I haven't done it subconsciously yet. And that's the bit I'm trying to avoid. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, Stuart. As we know, even on social media, they actually announced themselves that they'd paid 10,000 agitators to spread themselves across social media, reporting shit, reporting people just because they don't follow the narrative. And I got something I can fidget with, Ollie, but it'd probably lose me the channel.
And here we go into the depths of depression.
No, I'm not going down them levels yet. It's not even 5 o'clock. Look. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, Stuart. They announced that. Dirty old man. Harold. That's more like Norman Wisdom, that one, wasn't it? Yeah, dirty old man. What else we got in here? But yeah, the agitators. That there seems a lot more of it going on YouTube. Whether it's just people going around just because they want drama or cause trouble. But there does seem more and more of ones that are coming into streams, not causing drama, but just literally disagreeing with everything and pushing it. It's something that's there. I don't know how to get rid of them.
Use an iron.
Use an iron. Yeah. Yes, Stuart, and that is the issue. We know we can't trust any of our politicians. They've openly been caught lying, cheating. Again, I've said before that these inquests and inquiries that are going on now, like the one with Royal Mail, it's showing the public how these companies, how the government really act behind the scenes. And this, I think this is an insight that a lot of the public have never seen before. And it is quite shocking, considering these are the people that are running this fucking country. And ultimately, they can kill this country or revive it. I personally follow the lines of what a few other people have said. This country's going downhill. It's going to crash. Let's get it over and done with quicker so we can rebuild quicker. We can take control again quicker rather than just let it drag on and drag on. Yes, we will. Most sides in war are controlled to some extent. People don't realise that countries talk to each other outside of war, even when they're at war. What was the film? There was a film along those lines. Alan Arkin, Catch-22, where both sides agreed on how many were going to be lost on each bombing raid, and we're going to bomb you there. You know, you will lose 5,000 people, but you can come back and kill 5,000 of ours on your raid. I think it was Catch-22. I remember it was Alan Arkin that was in it. You'll be surprised, we won. You know, as I've always said, people that are most dangerous when they're back to the wall and they've got nothing left to lose. Literally, I think they're going to have to push the people of this country that far before anything happens.
I think it's Pink Floyd again, but it's what we need is a short, sharp shock.
Yes, that was the teacher, I do believe.
We do seem to quote Pink Floyd quite a lot, innit?
No, just Stuart likes Pink Floyd.
I know.
Yeah, but Labour are lying with what they're saying and what they're promising. The finances aren't there. And the only way they can get those finances is rob everybody else again. Unfortunately, people, their pockets are empty. And I don't just mean those at the lower end of the scale, as I say, and I don't mean that in a derogatory term. Far from it, because personally, we are in that lower half. But these that are earning reasonably good money, 2 people working, got their own house, they're seeing now how empty their pockets are. They've had a stable life for many, many years, and now they're seeing it. And I'm hoping and I believe that the more and more that Roland stands up there, talks his bollocks, I think every time he does that, I see more eyes opening to what's going on. And I hope that is what is happening. That's the thing, Holly. You know, you get someone who's waking up in the middle of what's going on now. The first thing they're going to do is, I can't be fucking doing with this. And they're going to go and bury themselves again. Yeah. And that you have got those as well, we won, that have been brainwashed into it. They've been conditioned, literally because they've let themselves be. Everybody had the option to reject what they were saying and look outside the box, look elsewhere for the truths, but they haven't. They've just gone along with the narrative. They're the ones that won't be shaken out of it, unfortunately. Yeah, these are only my opinions on it. I mean, yeah, I look and read stuff every day. I have to do what I do. But I don't go too deep into it because it can get very, very confusing. Very confusing. But I like to point out the things like when they pushed the immigration bill again, the Rwanda bill the other night. There was hardly anybody in the House for the debate on it. There was never going to be enough opposition against it after that second vote. And you can guarantee the Lords will be pressured to push it through. But it's all still going to take time, and it's all costing money, millions and millions. Oh, Labour will speed it up 3-4 times, Stuart. Because they'll want to try and prove that they can do it. They'll push it all too quick, and it will just fall apart around them. That's what I say. With what we got, it's a choice between a slow death and a fast death, really, if you put it in those sort of terms. Andrew Brigand, that's the one that resigned, wasn't it, Jason, if I remember rightly? Wasn't he one of the ones that resigned? Oh, no, he was the one that, yeah, he resigned, didn't he? But again, you know, You've got MPs now that have resigned over the Rwanda deal. Why? That just tells me that you didn't have the bollocks to stand there and fight against it. You just opted out. Those that resigned, I'd openly call fucking cowards. Yes, sir, exactly. And I think that is the only way you're going to get people to rise in any decent numbers. This bloody chat keeps disappearing and refreshing itself automatically.
Oh, it's me. I'll fuck it
Because
up,
most...
yeah.
No, it's not you. Yeah, if something's not done, that's the way it will go, Weewam. There will be a dictator of some sort. You know, leaders get people to follow them. They don't push them into something. If you've got a good leader, people will follow. On TVs. Beardy, he's an absolute twat, mate. You know, as soon as they start questioning him about his past as a lawyer and what have you and what he did back then, he clams up because everything he did back then shows what he's really like. Yeah, we were. I mean, you look at the way, okay, it was for slightly different reasons, and the French rule was a bit funny like that anyway, but fair dues with the way they kicked off. Sweden, sadly, has noticed now it's almost too late for them. They're like Ireland. They've been overrun. The Irish now are seeing the issue. They are really waking up. But again, there's laws being put in place in Southern Ireland that are totally oppressive. I mean, there might as well be martial law on the streets with the way the Garda are going on in Southern Ireland. You know, roadblocks on most major roads, most days, checking people, suppressing people. I mean, they passed a law now or are passing one shortly where you can't even have a meme on your device if it's against the narrative. You can be arrested for that. They are running under total oppression over there and they are fighting back. And if they think the troubles in the times past caused a lot of disruption, I think this could blow up into something even bigger. It's for a different reason.
And Ireland are standing together.
Yeah, they are. What was it, the thing, taking notice of this, listen to the paddies or something like that? I saw a slogan somewhere and it was perfect. That's the problem, Stuart. Yes, at the moment, white people are the majority in this country. But it's the percentage of those white people that are willing to stand up, shout, have a voice. The rest, they've either been split up, radicalized. A lot of them have even gone over to these other extremist fractions. We've seen that with the protests in London. They're not all Palestinians. They're not all from the Middle East. A lot of them are white people. And most of the ones I see are either young upstarts that are there to cause trouble, or they're people my age that have got a pension and have got fuck all better to do with their life. Yes, he did, Weewin. He fought to keep people here. He worked and gave them the loopholes, the same as the lawyers have been doing lately. He was doing exactly the same. And he was also involved. Was it the post office case? I know there was another big one he was involved in. Which gained Starmer, yeah. No, I don't think it was the post office one, but I know there was another big scandal that he was involved in.
Yeah, he was. He was head of prosecution.
That was
when
it.
All that was it when all that was going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I posted that on Facebook.
And I believe people like that should never be allowed in Westminster because they're not open-minded.
But if we didn't allow idiots, nobody'd get in.
Yeah. I'm a great believer. All right, Gary, that on major decisions in this country, and I mean major decisions, not trivial things, but there should also be a public referendum before any of them are passed. Fuck the Lords, they're out of touch. It's the people that have got to live with it, us, that should be offered a choice in the decisions. I've always said that. It's all right giving them permission to act on our behalf, but as we've seen, they're not, and they're not listening to what the public want most of the time, which is wrong. They're there to represent our voice. They're there to represent us. Therefore, they should take notice of what we're saying, and most of them don't.
But the argument...
Yes, they do, we would. Their parliament, yeah, it's clean, it's squeaky clean, and if they make a decision, it's because it's what the public wanted in Switzerland. You know, even down to washing your car. You got to take your car to official wash areas and have them washed professionally because of the ecosystem being ruined by soaps going down the drain. Was it Switzerland or Sweden that Mr. Gatso came from? The original designer of the Gatso speed camera. And we know where that led. But over there, they don't have to put them out where people can see them like they do here. They can actually hide them in lampposts. They can hide them in builders' vans. They don't have to be visible to the public. Okay. Yes, exactly, Lost Souls. They are that out of touch with their people. I mean, I watched that fucking idiot Sunak on here today doing his walkabout. One little old lady, an ex-care worker, started questioning him on the NHS. And because he didn't like the way the questions were going, he turned his back on her and fucked off and walked away. Now, is that the way to gain a vote from somebody? That woman has probably been a supporter of the Conservatives all her life. Doing that, is she going to say, oh, yeah, he's an arsehole, I'll still vote for him, though? I don't think so. It is coming down to that, Stuart. It really is. You know, yeah, some of the videos I look at and the features I look at, they are biased, obviously. You don't see the videos in their full context. And people put them out there for a reason that way. I mean, that's why with mine, if I'm talking about something, I don't edit myself up. I might put things in or put things up. But it's just one continuous recording when I do it. I put it out as I say it, as I see it. Yeah, Enoch Powell had a lot of the right ideas. There were a few things there that he used to come out with that I didn't agree with, but on that, unfortunately, I'd have been with him. Yeah. No, exactly. We won. He's unelected. It's the party we elected, and that's the trouble. They put who they want in front of the party. You give the party your permission to act on your behalf, not that. The same as when you vote for your local MPs. Labour have already come here and trying to get me to vote for one of theirs for mayor. I told them to fuck right off. I'll be a bit kinder with the Tories, but I'll give them some shit first, and I will have my camera out there before they get a flea in the rear and sent on their way.
I'm waiting for somebody interesting to knock the door.
Yeah.
To say vote for me because you don't want one of them twats.
Yeah. What happened to the Monster Raving Loony Party? I'd love one of them to turn up. I could have a party with one of them. No, exactly, Beardy. He was thrust in there. And to be honest, I think it was anybody just to get what's her face, the old Chucky doll pulled down. Oh, it's Jenny dropped in. Hi, Jen. Yeah. And obviously whoever's in there, we know for a fact now that there are higher people pulling the strings on them, i.e. WEF, a lot of big countries in the Middle East, shall I say. Dubai, places like that, is a hell of a lot of influence in our government from them, simply because of the money they hand over. FOSS is the biggest social credit system. Yep. And another one is, I put up a link on Facebook, I think it was, to a video about the post office. Now, if any of you use the post office bank, I believe I've never used them, but I believe they done mortgages and everything, or even a post office savings account, anything like that. I would go and watch that video, and you'll be surprised if you're involved in that and got money in that, where it's going and how much of it they can actually take away from you and you can lose. I was quite surprised. I didn't know it. But I would go and watch that if you bank with the post office. Stepper, good evening. Happy Friday. I'm always happy on a Friday, mate, because I get to talk to you lot for a start. And it's a nice wind down from the week. Yeah, Bank of Ireland. Yep. And look at the amount of money that was spent on propping them up, and then the amount they got for. In fact, they got the biggest fine that has ever been given to a banking group. Yep. They can shut you down at the click of a finger, we will. They've proved that now. They've shown it, and they've shown they can get away with it. It's only when you're in the face, in the public eye, like Farage, people like that, that will actually get anything done. Because if a bank shut down my account, not that it's fuck all in it, if they shut down my account, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I could say that would make them. They've even kept people's money after shutting their accounts, and they've had to go through the courts just to get their money back, and they still won't give a reason why they do it. The bog off. It's the post office bank. Yeah. But see, Stuart, I didn't know about that. And I'll be straight up. I look at a lot of things, and that's one thing I never knew about until yesterday. And it quite shocked me, to be honest. We know NatWest have done a lot of nasty things. There was that one that did it to Farage. And they do it. And they have shut down YouTubers' bank accounts, other people's bank accounts, just because they've spoke out about the narrative. So in a way, the banks are trying to control and censor what goes out in public. And I've always said this is where the control of this country is. It's not the ones that are standing there shouting about it in Parliament. It's the bastards that are financing them. And with the amount this country's borrowed at the moment, it's the banks, and not just our own. The ones from other countries. Yeah, exactly, we will. And didn't we say this a couple of years ago when me and you had a bit of a chat? There will come a time where you won't be able to raise your voice or your hand or object to anything in public without fear of being arrested. And that is coming true now in Southern Ireland already. We know it's true in other countries. And you think about it, China, North Korea, look at the fucking state of them places, and that's how they run their countries. Exactly, Stuart. And I did point that out as soon as they started talking about it, didn't I, mate? I said there was more involved, and yep, But I worked out about 80 to 85% of that bill has absolutely fuck all to do with keeping anybody safe online other than the government. So Jason's got a £50 digital food voucher from the council this week. Our council here, mate, they'd be taking 50 quid off you saying they've overpaid it somewhere. Have we ever had any support or top-ups or anything like that?
What, from the council?
From the council or the government? Extras that we wouldn't have got?
Like the payments for electric and things like that. Yeah.
Huh. So I know that because the main bank account is Heather's, because she was in the house before me, all the bills she was paying all the bills. Rather than change everything, we just left it that way. And because I'm on health benefits now, that goes straight into her bank, which goes straight into the household finances. So I don't actually see what goes in there. On the downside, I don't see what comes out either. But no, I mean, we've got the local food bank, and there are more and more people using those as they've put out. More so than ever before. There is just no support for the people of this country that need it. Absolutely none at all. Yeah. Yes, we will. I'll agree with that. I mean, Birmingham Council, the prime example, and they've done exactly the same as the post office done. They tried to cover things up, hold things up, and it cost them more in the long run. Technically Birmingham Council is bankrupt, but they're not in the way that most people would think. They still do have some funds.
On paper.
On paper, yeah. And we know where that
They have
lead.
negative equity.
It runs out in March. Restrictions. There's always restrictions on stuff like that, Jason. Usually about where you can spend them as well. And this is the idea of the DWP now snooping into your bank accounts. They want to see where people are earning a little bit extra on the side and it going in if it's traceable. But they will start looking at where you spend your benefits if you're on benefits. And if they deem you not buying the right stuff for you to keep going, i.e. food, or you're buying luxuries, or you're saving it up and having a holiday, you will be penalised for that. That is one of the reasons they want into your bank accounts. Or our bank accounts. Yeah. They want to see everything. They want us to be transparent. Or I'm saying, you want to look in my fucking account, show me yours first. Let's see your financial dealings because you don't like showing that.
Back during the great, whatever you want to call it, my daughter was given some vouchers by the school to help her through with kids being at home and yada, yada, yada. And she tried to use them in Tesco's and was told that half of her shopping didn't qualify.
Yeah.
So she couldn't buy, she had to buy bread and fruit and meat and I can't remember what it was, but it was something really silly, like tin foil.
Yeah.
She couldn't buy that with a voucher because it was to get food for the kids. And it was like, but I've got to cook it.
And this goes back to what I said a long time ago. They will end up telling you what you can eat, what you can drink, where you can live, when and where you work, what job you do. You will live in a little box that's just big enough for you to live in. They want control of everything. Yeah, it is. We were controllable. 1984. Yeah. You know, you think about it, one man's wage years ago, you could get a mortgage, you could feed the kids, you could have a holiday, you could have a car, you could have the heating on. Not now.
Well, you can, according to Sunak's average salaries.
Oh, yeah, well, I could quite literally, I'd live on his parliamentary salary quite happily, let alone the rest of the shit he earns. Yeah, it is, Jason. That is their ultimate goal, is total control. When did that come in? 20 minutes ago. I'm just going to mute a minute, guys. If I can find it.
And that's not like urgent.
Sorry, guys.
That's not urgent. We can do that later.
Oh, fucking hell.
Properly.
Dan, if you're in the background listening, mate, that fucking you just said. You'll know what we're talking about later. If he doesn't come in himself, I'll tell you about it. I gave him a little present last weekend. Right, what did I miss? Oh, we don't have a heating on. Yeah, but you'd burnt logs, sure. You didn't get penalised for having an open fire. Equilibrium, yeah, I remember that one.
When I moved to this house, God, 30 odd years ago, let's leave it there. And the one year it was that cold in the kitchen, the milk froze because I hadn't put it in the fridge. No word of a lie.
Is it in there? Yeah, Holly, it's in WhatsApp. Yeah, we had a coal fire back in the 70s. And it actually had a back boiler in it as well. We actually had central heating running off it, but we ripped the back boiler out when they went over to electric storage heaters. And me and my father ripped the old 1960s style tiled fireplace out and built a nice stone one with a live fire, as it were. But I mean, you know, people say about gas fires. I mean, we've got one of them. Now, I saw a video on YouTube the other day where, Facebook, sorry, was oh, look at these. These are a relic from the past. The council only fitted that bastard a few years ago, brand new.
They condemned the old one, and I said, "Oh, good, we're getting a nice new." No, exactly
no, replace it with the same type thing, same design. It is, Mikey. Yeah. You know, if the people hadn't have been so compliant when they brought these regulations and shit in, it wouldn't have happened.
But it was for the best.
And that's what I said. They
what
snuck in all of this a little bit at a time, so nobody noticed. Local, good evening, mate. Yeah. Everything they've done, it's little increments, little bits here and there. And they've got that many pieces in place now that people can't put all the dots together. They can't see the whole picture because they haven't been looking long enough. Where those of us that are wise to it can. Yeah, I actually believe that central heating, especially gas, has contributed to a lot of illnesses over the years. You think about how it dries the air out. There's no moisture in the air. And I mean, I quite often used to stand a dish of water underneath a gas fire when I was living on my own because it just dried the air out too much.
Yeah, but so will this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And any heating tends to dry the air out. Oh, I'll be back in a minute or three.
You will?
Yeah. I need to go upstairs, but I'm taking this with me so I can watch it and have a laugh.
You wouldn't like to grab me a can of Coke out of the fridge, would you?
No.
All right. Thank you.
I will probably forget. But I'll try
Yeah,
and
lost souls.
remember.
Same with air conditioning. I find air conditioning, yeah, okay, I've got a few issues with my throat and my esophagus anyway, but I find the air conditioning hard to cope with. Yeah, I always prefer a colder bedroom. I'd rather have the bedroom colder than the rest of the house. What's time? 5:30. So folks got molds. Yep, the mold. Obviously, people didn't realise how dangerous it was, but the spores in it are very, very dangerous. There are places like a lot of coastal towns. You do suffer from it a lot in the older buildings. Down in Cornwall, in particular, if you left your wardrobe door closed with clothes in there, within a fortnight, you'd have what you call the Cornish mold. It's that grey dusting that forms on them when things are constantly damp. I know we're scraping nice off the. Yeah. Do you remember the old metal ones in the council houses, Stuart? Metal framed, single thickness of glass. You could literally run your fingers around the edge and just lay the ice sheet off of them. Oh, there we go again. Oh, I've got bings and bongs. How many we got in? 29. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. But if you two keep on there, I'm going to have to turn the alerts off. Oh, thank you, YouTube, for telling me I'm live. Yeah, only a couple of hours late. Nice. Oh, I knew it was a fucking mistake to give it in that. Oh. Yeah, it hovers around that. I mean, the other week we had about 50 in here at one point the other week. Yeah, a lot of them pop in, see what's being said, don't enjoy it, ain't bothered with it, don't feel part of it for whatever. So they pop in and leave. Well, it's fair enough. Everybody has that choice. Everybody has an off button. We do know there's lurkers in there that like to just sit there and try and catch anything if somebody badmouths somebody so they can pass it on for drama channels. Feel free. Yeah, you won't find much of it going on in here. No. Holly, you're really, really going to confuse people in here. I know what you're talking about. And some people might not find it funny, but I find it fucking hilarious. But that's my mentality, innit? Yeah, I mean they're there. They're on every channel, Stuart. And the fact that they feel the ones that feel they got to come and watch what I say and listen to what I say. Feel free. Do you know I've got all the oh god, the missus has joined in on it now as well. Oh dear. Grumpy Sapper, good evening, buddy. But yeah, it takes all sorts. Unfortunately, that's the bad side of social media, isn't it? You know, it's got its good parts, it's got its bad parts. Dan lurks under the bed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't. I do drop in on streams from now and time to time just to see what's being said, but I don't go there with the intention of screenshotting anything or recording anything. Most of it I wouldn't know how to do anyway. Thank you, darling. I do know how to screenshot, but it takes me time to get it organised. So whatever on a screenshot is usually gone. Yeah, some people get off on it, don't they? She's always watching me, Grumpy. But she also was always supporting me. So, yeah, it is a blue sky out there, but I think we're going to get another cold one. But they seem to, oh, it's going to get a bit seasonal. Let's put out a warning for it. Bit of wind and rain's coming in. Oh, we got to give it a name. I suppose that comes from the Americans and the cyclone season and stuff like that. Wait, hello, what's that? That's a new symbol. New layout. Ew. StreamYard, you are confusing me. Oh yeah, that's been going, isn't it? I forgot that was on there. That can come off now. Before it started bugging me. Yeah, it is dark here already, wee one. Yeah, we used to have summer, winter and autumn, didn't we? Spring. That was it. Now we could have any of it any time of the year. Oh, there it goes again. I'm not even going to look. I don't know quite what it is here, wee one. I did have a thermometer here, but it kind of had a mind of its own most of the time. So,
Look, 3 degrees, my phone says.
what, outside?
Yeah.
3 degrees. Oh, that was it. There was the thing. What was it? 3, 4 degrees, but feels like 1.
Yeah, I've just done it.
So I can hear what's going on in the background, what's being said.
It was Dan's one, not our one.
Oh, it was one of his one.
Yeah.
Ah. And it did the full job, the full Monty.
Yeah.
Waits till he gets one in ours. I'm back, China. Stole me battery power. Yeah, I rely on my phone, Stuart, for it. We could go out in the car, turn the ignition on. That's got the external thermometer on it, but
Oh dear. that, man.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's not for public consumption.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through them, Ollie. But you wait until he gets one in that bastard I gave him the weekend. Yeah, do you not, Sapper, that is something I do miss. Going up the woods with my mate, getting the little fire going, getting the pot on there. I used to love it up there. Bit of bushcrafting, away from everything. You know, you just do it and forget about the world. You just have a few hours or a night to yourself. Yeah, exactly, Jason. I can remember no buses running to school, and we walked 2 miles to school through over a foot of snow. I can remember getting the motocross bikes out and going into town and getting shopping for the old ears in the village because they couldn't get there. We got the tractors out up the farm, put trailers on them, took people down to the Tesco's into the town. You know, and that was every year. We used to look forward to it. But it's the weather's like the government at the moment. You can't trust it. Yeah, it is. They've distracted everybody from their lives, and people are looking to see how their lives are going to be, how they're going to be told their lives are going to be. Yeah, but that's only if you're letting it drip, Stuart. Yeah, it has, Holly. It has. If you know, I can go back to the day when I remember my auntie had nothing but the Rayburn in the kitchen. And that did the heating, it did the cooking. We all used to sit around it in the kitchen in the winter. And I can even remember sitting in the fucking tin bath in front of it as well, waiting for some more warm water that was boiling on the top of the thing to warm it up a bit. Yeah, they say cold showers can be good for you, Sapper. Yeah, there used to be a sharp cure for a hangover, but I don't think I could handle one at my age. Yeah, that's like ours here, Holly. It's the old type with the 4 ceramic grids in the front. You put that up on full in here, and I tell you what, you can't breathe in it.
You get varicose veins in the kitchen.
But it don't matter how high it is, the cat will always curl up under it. Bathing in the sink. Yeah, we had the tin bath. At that point, that was me and just my sister. My brother hadn't come along then. So when it was my sister, fingers up the nose, in one end, out the other. Didn't get it changed. You had to follow each other. I did the ice plunge. Now my tickle would give up. Yeah. Yeah, if they wanted to come in, they'd cook themselves on the way in, Beardy. No, I've learnt that lesson, Gary. We were down on the Isle of Wight, me and a couple of my mates staying in his mum's flat that she had. We left one on and we left a boombox playing in front of it. And I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning to this smell. And it was literally a blob of plastic on the floor. Fucking thing had melted. Yeah. In fact, one of the mates that I've got in touch with from back home on Facebook after 40 years, Jason, was my old Coleman's son. I always remember him walking down the path with his big leather waistcoat on and the sack on his shoulder.
Oh, apparently the Japanese have done it. I've just noticed on the breaking news. It's responding as it should and sending signals back.
Oh, so they've landed it on the moon safely. Yeah. Good on them.
At least it'll be a polite thing on the moon.
A polite thing.
Hello, honourable sir.
He's got little slanty lenses over the cameras. Oh, look at the walk. Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you what, Sapper, when we went up to Cumbria, we go up there every year now on holiday, you could still walk along the beach and pick up the sea coal along there. Because this was one of the things. The old Coleman wore the leather waistcoat, though. It was to protect his clothes from the Hessian sacks, Stuart. It was what they call silver leather. Like a jeweller's leather. It's about 1/4 inch thick. He did do it just like that. But yeah, up in Cumbria, I've always wanted to do the catch, cook and thing with the fishing. And what I want to do is build the fire using the sea coal. Start the fire with my flint and shit with driftwood. And once it's going with the wood, actually burn the sea coal and cook the fish over that.
Maybe we'll catch something we can keep and eat this year.
Well, I'm getting to the point where if the fucking thing's big enough for a mouthful, we've been trying that long, the bastard's going in the pan. Fucking Lord.
Depends who's watching, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a big enough fatty, it's in the pot.
The phrase, I thought it was a dab.
Yeah, Cyril. That was his name, Coleman. Cyril the Coleman. Yeah, it's not too bad where we go. I mean, the cottage is only like 50 yards or so from the beach. And it is a bit windy up there, I must admit, up the, what's it called? I always get it. Solway Firth, that's it. And because we're quite a way up it funnels the wind. Plus, it's all flat land behind us, so it just howls across. But I like walking along it. It's Pebble Beach at the top, and I quite often pick up interesting bits and pieces along there, including the sea coal. Yep, the bin men, the old galvanised bin. Didn't matter whether it still had hot ashes in it, that one in the separate one. It was always up on the shoulder and thrown in the back. And you could put anything out. They were always grateful of old bikes and bits like that because they used to collect the metal and weigh it in themselves as a bonus. You'd always see the old bike frames and wheels strapped to the back of the bin wagon. I mean, we're luckier than most. We've only got 2 wheelie bins out there, but in Bristol, I think we had about 4 different wheelie bins and 3 other little smaller bins that we were supposed to empty into the wheelie bins. In the end, I fucking gave up and started throwing it all in one. Bollocks to 'em. If you want to learn archery, Holly, you'll have to go to an official range. It is very, very frowned upon just going in the field and firing them about, apparently. It's the only place you can actually use a crossbow, actually, is in a range. But yeah, there's a lot of schools of thought out there that used to run survival courses, camping courses, or just what they call wild walking, and everything involved in and around them. I believe kids should learn, because it teaches you how to survive in the outdoors. And most of it is even how to act in the outdoors, which a lot of them don't nowadays. Good evening, Tony. Welcome, mate. I'll keep looking over there because see if anybody's popping up in the back room. But even that, the bushcrafting, the wild camping, they tried to stop it. Matey on Dartmoor tried to use the force of the law, being the landowner, etc. And it was proved that he was wrong. He can't stop it. He can restrict it, but he can't stop it. Wales is doing their utmost best to ban it. I don't know about Scotland, obviously, because they've got a lot of their own laws, which are a lot different to ours. To me, Scotland was the ideal place. It's the place where you can get furthest away from humanity if you wanted to. But, you know, even van life, they're trying to stop that. They're trying to stop people living in vans because they can't afford to live in houses. Again, I believe that is to force people into little boxes. Yeah, the Duke of Edinburgh Awards were a damn good set of courses. It is still allowed, Gary. I don't know of any ranges locally round here that do it. Obviously, you can use air pistols on most ranges. There used to be a pistol range in Walsall, didn't there? At some point, or was it Wolverhampton? Live shot.
Yeah, they come and go.
But most of it, again, is target-based, competition target shooting based. You know, it'll be 2.2 LRs or something like that. Wales making it so that business have to have separate recycling. Yeah, and they'll fine them for not doing it as well, Beardy. I got to admit, Stuart, the bin man here, he's a mate of mine. He's become a friend. He does follow me on YouTube and that. Believe it or not, if I don't put the bin out on a Monday night, he actually will walk down the drive, take the bag out and empty it for me. And if I do put it up on the road, he will put the empty bin back under my window where he knows I keep it. Yes, he does get a big bag of sweets or a tub of sweets every Christmas for him and his mate. But they both do it for me. I can't fault the guys. And he's always said if there's anything I want to get rid of, you know, that the recycling isn't going or I've got too many, he said, just put it in a bag, put it in there, we'll take it. They're great guys. You find the Desert Eagle. Yeah, that was one that never really took off on that National Rifle Association. I've actually got my patch in the drawer. We won.
Here we go.
Yep, I know exactly where it is.
Don't doubt it.
What's saying that? It ain't. It was.
Oh, you've shuffled and it's gone to the back.
Yeah, it's probably falling out into the bottom there.
Don't worry about it now.
Well,
Get back to your loving public.
but yeah, I've got my NRA patch there. But again, in America now that, you know, different states are bringing in different rules on, I mean, we can't talk about it too much on YouTube because they don't like you talking about that sort of thing. But their laws We know that's why Japan said they wouldn't have invaded America, because every house has got a gun behind the door, and it would be virtually impossible with the whole country being armed. But with everybody being armed and it that easy to get firearms, you've got to look at the murder rate, the death rates. You've got to look how the police react. You know, everybody's armed.
It's the danger when you're waving a gun around, you shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest, if they allowed the British to arm themselves like the Americans do, we would have the same problem here. Not to the same extent and scale, but we would have the same problem here. I'll be honest. Well, even Heather's up to marksman standards, Stuart. Admittedly, that's only with air rifles. But
I got some very nice compliments off the man when I had to go at the clay shooting.
Yeah, you did.
As the
first time she ever went clay shooting, I paid for a taster session for her on the clays. The first issue was he hadn't bought the ladies' guns, so she had a full-size, full-weight gents gun. But she actually took out, and he said he couldn't believe it, well over 50% of the clays. She learnt to lead properly. She learnt to use windage properly, forward movement, holdover, all in one session. And he was quite amazed at the percentage of hits that she had. And to be honest, I was. I wasn't expecting her to do anywhere near as good. But fair play, she did. And that was the first go she had at it. And I was quite surprised and glad the way she picked up with the air rifles. She is a very good shot. But there again, she does have good equipment as well, as most of you know that no air rifles, you can't go out there with a cheap one and do the same as you can with an expensive one. So
I wasn't shooting from the hip, but
no. But the only thing is, the downfall and the downside of that was once she'd learned to do that, it meant I had to get at least 100 yards head start on her if I wanted to get up the road. But she does have a very, very nice hand-built British one, a Ripley, which is a limited edition.
Which you told me not to buy. Which
I told you not to buy because they were too exclusive. But it is a nice air gun, to be honest. Yeah, one water one. And keep running. Yeah, we started off at an indoor club, Grumpy. I just wanted to get Heather used to it. It was only 20 meters. I mean, they were all in there with their big fucking sights and jackets that hold their arms in different positions. I mean, I walked in there with a 200 quid BSA and done a full 10 round, 100% round on one of the cards. And that was a breaker and it was leaping all over the fucking place. But yeah, it wasn't for us.
Soon got bored.
And I mean, when we do go up the range, it's got very, very expensive now. We haven't been up there for a while. We shoot up to 200 yards with perfectly legal and unlicensed guns, as it were, all sub £12. We'll shoot at 200 yards with that in the right conditions, 100 to 120 easy, no matter what the conditions. With both 1.77 and 22s. A lot of my message are not showing in the chat. That will be YouTube then, Grumpy.
That, or he's got it on top chat.
Either that or you've got it in top chat. Look at the top. You'll see top chat. Click on that and click it down to live chat. I used to do that originally. I didn't know the bloody difference. Oh, the old FN, yeah. Dan, good evening, buddy. I haven't had time to go through more than things you posted on WhatsApp. I can see the gist of it. I'm actually looking forward to going through that. Murderer. Murderer. I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, and the thing is, some people may not approve, so that's why I said.
Yeah,
it's not for
some
in here.
people might not approve of it. So.
It's not for in here.
No. If you guys would follow the old food guy on YouTube, the old food guy, is he older than me? Oh, by the way, we have someone now in the chat who, by the statistics, is YouTube famous. A celebrity. I'll have a look at that, Gumps. Yeah, I'll have a look into that.
Me too is on the chef.
Yeah, being as she's a shake. Holly is straight in there, look, dickhead. I said she's back on form. Yeah, but that's what I said. All the British Rail staff know he's YouTube famous. Well, all the way from Weston-super-Mare to Birmingham, anyway. Oh, he's not far from us then. Lichfield's only just up the road. Heather used to play in one of the pubs there with a band, singing a band. Yes, I'm not doing it subconsciously. I know I'm doing it, considering I'd probably smoked a good dozen of the things by now. I ain't doing too bad.
And it is almost 2 hours since you rolled the last one. So,
yeah. No, nothing subconscious. I actually sat there and I've been putting it off, looking at it, and no. You're our cult leader. Oh, pardon me. Jesus. I wish it wouldn't do that, you know. That actually hurts when that happens. Yep. I'm way off, aren't I? Dan's on the A list. I'm on the Z list.
No, I'm on the Z list. I have no subs. You're on the Y list. No, other people are on the Y list. You're on the X list, X-rated.
Yeah, but think of this. Now, I didn't consider it this way until it was pointed out to me. You take somebody like Sky News that's got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Millions. Now, you look at the percentage that they have watching their live streams, their videos, but in particular live streams. And then you look at how many of my subs watch them, comment on them. At the moment, I'm getting average of 500 views per 100 views per video. Now, that's with just over 500 subs, assuming that everybody watching is a subscriber. But with the amount of subscribers I got to the amount of viewings I'm getting, I have a much higher ratio than Sky News, for instance. there is more of my viewers, percentage-wise, watch my videos and streams than Sky News have.
You currently have 5.8% of your subscribers watching, and that's just gone up.
Yeah.
And back down again.
Yeah, it does. It's like the numbers in here. As I say, people will come in, see what's being discussed, see what we're doing. If they don't like it or it's not interesting enough, then they go. It's absolutely fine. You know, that's personal choice. I didn't set out to be a big channel, and I don't believe I'll ever be a big channel. I don't want a big channel because I wouldn't be able to handle it. I just wouldn't be able to control it all enough. Which comes back to something that me and Holly were talking about earlier about having things spot on. It could even be a bit of autism. I don't know. But
You just twisted.
yeah, Sapper, thank you. Yeah. Evening, Budge. I take it that is the original Budge. Good evening, mate. Yeah, you know, I mean, I am probably boring to some people. Most of you people in here know me from day to day. Quite a few of you chat to me privately or on Discord. You know, and that's the people I'd expect to see in here. You know, yeah, as we know, no disrespect to Budge there, but he'll know what I'm talking about. You do get lurkers in the background. I openly admit I do it sometimes. And that will make up some of the numbers. But wish I was autistic. I've never been any good at drawing. And the dyslexia don't help either, does it, Dan? Funny enough, me and Heather were sat here earlier on. Now, I use a word, Arthurian. Now, I've always used that word to describe the period in history where the people say King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, and that sort of era. And Heather's like, you sure it's not Arthurian?
No.
I said, no. But then it's pronounced different to the way I use it when I say Arthurian. Oh, I've got fucking Tourette's, Grumpy Sapper. Don't you worry about that, mate. But it only comes out when I need it. Yeah, I do have a problem using words, pronouncing words.
Arthurian is the word you were looking for.
Arthurian, not Arthurian.
No,
Okay.
not authoritarian.
No, I know what that is.
Yeah, but that's what it sounds like you're trying to say.
Who shall pulleth the stone from the anvil? I'll tell you what, I've got a picture somewhere. When I took Heather down to Cornwall, I took her up to Tintagel Hotel. Literally because the walk down to the actual Tintagel Castle, she wouldn't have been able to do at the time because they didn't have the bridge or anything.
I've
And
never made it across the field.
and they've actually got a sword stuck in a stone out front of the hotel. And it is a proper sword as well. And I took some pictures with it. I don't know where they went. I think you got them on your selection somewhere, didn't you?
I think they're on my computer upstairs or on a disc somewhere.
I know the place well. Yeah, well, just below the hotel there is where I used to regularly fish, Budge. It used to be one of my favourite competition marks.
You also took some photos with that flash car that was parked.
Oh, yeah, somebody had a Bentley parked out the front, so I done the posing bit with that, like it was a holiday snap.
Came down in the car to see you guys.
Yeah, park the Focus out the way, want it? We don't want it in the background of the Bentley. And that was when I found out the new owner, funny enough, it was a dry hotel. They went teetotal. They didn't serve alcohol. It was only because I hadn't been down there for years, but you got to watch her, Dan. She she is on fire today, honestly. Wee one, he's got the bigger poop up. Walking down the pike tree. Now, stop picking on him. What else? Don't start with the Monty Python. It's only a flesh wound, you wimp. Actually, we only just watched them was it last week?
Yeah.
Life of Brian and the Holy Grail. Is Netto still a thing?
I don't know. Was it American?
Google.
Netto
Just
was.
three. You make me wish that I had three hands.
Closed in 2016.
There you go. Closed in 2016. Never heard of it.
May 2010, Netto UK was bought by Asda. It was doing something with Sainsbury's.
Who were bought in turn by Walmart.
No, not quite.
Who do you think owns Asda?
Walmart and Asda were in partnership a long time ago.
Well, how come we don't get the mutants in there like they do at Walmart in America? Oh dear, it's getting towards that time of day, isn't it? Went out and bought 3 litres of bourbon, cost me the equivalent of 15 quid. I reckon the last time I went to Newquay, I must have drunk 3 litres of fucking bourbon and it didn't cost me a penny. Other than the embarrassment of being carried back to the hotel by Heather. Walmart do not own Walmart. They sold it a few years back.
Yeah, they did. I'm just looking for names.
Yeah. Heather's just looking it up. She likes to be bang on point with the information.
No,
Two sisters,
Asda
food
and Walmart were there for a long time together. And even before it was announced, in the bigger Asda stores, all the non-food produce, the curtains and bedding, that was all Walmart products. So they were working side by side.
Is that the 2 in Scotland, Jason? I seem to remember 2 brothers in Scotland.
Yeah, it's 2 brothers.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the ISSA brothers. Yeah. And TDR Capital.
Yeah, there was a bloody documentary on them, wasn't there, a little while back?
Mohsin and Zuba, ISSA.
That's it.
And TDR Capital.
Because they own a hell of a lot in Scotland as well.
Walmart retained an equity investment, a seat on the board, and an ongoing commercial relationship.
Yeah, I remember Safeway. Yeah, we got quite a big, well, we got 2 big B&Ms locally. Couple of Muslims. Yeah, exactly, Jason. Yeah. No, I last time it was bloody years ago. I was ever in Germany, but I don't think Audi were around back then. Mind you, when I was around back then, bloody Tesco's weren't either.
Just a moment, Mo.
What's Moo? Who owns Quick Save?
Is it still around?
Yeah, but you got other ones pop up like Iceland.
I haven't seen Quick Save in years.
I haven't seen Quick Save in years. Yeah, BlackRock owns a hell of a lot, Tony. They have got their fingers in just about every fucking pie going, I think. That's what we just said, Stuart. I haven't seen one for years.
They are still out there though. 98 they merged with Summerfields.
Who's saying he thinks they sold out in 2005. Damn, Samson now, yeah. Trouble is, the police are still holding some of his stock, aren't they? I saw that one of the stuff Marty Blackburn got back off him. What a bag of shit that was. He couldn't even remember half the bits and pieces. They had it that long. I am BlackRock. All right, and Gary.
In 2012, the QuickSave brand was relaunched by its new owners, Cost Cutter.
Wasn't that you had to have a membership, didn't you?
No.
I remember a big one in Bristol where you had to take out a membership to get the savings. Yeah, Woolies. Every Saturday morning, down into Woolies, buy a little Airfix pick kit. Pick and mix. Eat as much as you could on the way round before you filled your bag up. Costco. That's the one I was thinking of, wee one. I remember there was one where you had to take out a membership and
Matalan was membership when it first came on the
oh,
market.
Costco was a big warehouse.
I know what Costco was. It was supposed to be for shops only. It was trade only. It wasn't supposed to be open to
the one I remember from Ireland, Stuart, I don't know whether it was up north, but it was definitely down south, was Dunn's. I used to use the Dunn's store in Meadowvale, and that was absolutely huge because it had all the little shops around the outside of it under one roof. We would still have my Matalan card from the 90s.
I could probably find one of mine if I looked hard enough.
It is still Dunn's over there. Yeah. I haven't been over for years, Stuart, but I always remember it because it's shopping in there. I bought, I think it was a couple of records, a couple of LPs while I was there. And my uncle said, you should have waited until you got home because don't forget you pay a different tax here. And I'd paid well overpaid what I could have gotten for back home, apparently. And that was it, Dunn's. You spend the whole bloody day in there. You put your photo on the cards. It was trade only. Yeah. I remember going in, I bought a set of tyres in there. But that came in because my ex-partner, who I was living with in Bristol, she had a deli in Bath. And she used to get a lot of her stock from there. And that was, where was it? That was down by the docks somewhere in Bristol, if I remember. Because I remember finding it when I was living in Shirehampton. What's moved? But someone's laughing. I still have a load of Green Shield stamps. I'll tell you one thing I had loads of and they stopped taking them was the embassy bonus tickets, bonus points that you used to get in the cigarette packets. Used to take thousands of them to get anything out of the catalogue. So me rubber mat under my chair is pissing me off. It's rolled up under my feet. Ugh. It's designed to protect a wooden floor, not a carpeted one.
Works though.
Yeah. Dunelm, yeah, we got one of them. Or we did have reason. Was it Aston, wasn't it? Dunelm Mills.
No, it's over Black Country Way. I don't know whether it's Wolverhampton, Dudley, but it's over that way. Don't know.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of fishing tackle with it, wee one, because working in the clubs and pubs, everybody just used to chuck their empty packets, and I used to go around at the end of the night taking all the tokens out. I used to come up with bloody thousands of points. Still got his version book for shopping. Yeah, only allowed a quarter of a pound of butter. Very. 1 can of powdered eggs. But you could get extra clims if you were digging a tunnel. Gary just got an emergency power. What's that for a power cut, Gary? Or is it snow and ice bringing the lines down? That's the usual one in this type of weather. Yeah, the embassy ones, they changed, didn't they? You used to get, was it 10 in a packet of 20? You used to get 20 points. In a packet of 10, you used to get 5. And then they changed it over to 1 ticket per packet on the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't need as many of them. I used to remember sitting counting them out, and there was stacks of them all done up with rubber bands. I'm only ordering a bloody fishing rod.
My dad smoked embassy. I remember counting all these.
Yeah, that's what started me off as a kid. My mum went over to embassy from Woodbines. That's bad, isn't it? My mum used to smoke Woodbines.
My granddad smoked Woodbines.
And I'll tell you what, Stuart, one thing I did notice when I used to go to Ireland, the difference in the taste, because it's a different grade tobacco over there that are sold in Ireland, apparently. I mean, I used to smoke Sweet Afton, Afton Major. If I didn't have the money to buy them, then I'd buy a packet of Carol's. Used to buy a packet of 10 from the van when I was about 8 years old. Gary, I can go further back than mate. I can remember buying 5 bloody Woodbines wrapped up with a piece of paper.
10 number 6 and a box of matches, please.
Yep. You used to get 5 of them with a bit of paper wrapped round them with a bit of tape on it.
The shop just down the road from our local college sold them singly. He made a
Golden
fortune.
Virginia tins. Yeah, if you can get an original one, a genuine, there are a lot of copies out there.
Gary, it was his kidneys that killed him in the end, but it was a ripe old age.
One China Robin McParrick. Yeah, in America they did it. Where in the states where they made it illegal smoking in public, all the little kids usually go around, want to buy a fag, mate? Want to buy a fag, mate? 28 people for number 10 and number 6. The book of matches, yeah. Or you used to club your money together, didn't you? You'd buy a packet of ciggies and the other would buy a box of matches and you'd share them out. Well, I said before that I was lucky like that because I got caught smoking by my mother at a very young age. They tried to get me out of it, but as she said, she'd rather, if I was going to smoke, she'd rather buy them for me than me steal them or steal the money for them and smoke behind her back. And she even wrote to the school saying that I had my parents' permission to smoke. So at break times, the school couldn't stop me, but they could restrict me and say, you've got to stand outside the staff room. So just to rub their faces in it, I used to go and stand outside the staff room and have a ciggy after dinner. Yeah, sadly, that's where a lot of mine went because Mum used to buy them for me. I'd only smoke half of them and sell the other half. Yes, Jason, they were. Hacksaw blade. Poke it in the top and wiggle the drawer at the same time. I learnt that in the canteen at British Leyland at Cowley. You used to put your money in, you get a packet of something like 17 and there'd be a few coins taped to the packet and change. Three people are single, they didn't rip us off in the shops. Oh, it's amazing, you know, what used to happen back then and how it used to go on. And, you know, you go to the little hatch in most pubs that was the offie. You knock on the little glass windows. Oh, you got 10 fags, mate. Yep, Regal or Embassy, blue or the red packs, wasn't it? And the Embassy filter was the little ones. Then you went up to Embassy number 1, which were the king size. Or you could get really, really desperate and buy a packet of number 10. Christ, I can remember taking Corona bottles back and getting enough of them to go and buy a packet of 20. Used to go pick them up in the hedges around the village and bloody all sorts. The hatch never said no, it didn't, Gary. It didn't, whether you wanted a beer. Oh, you can't have anything other than a shandy bass, but put this in the bottom of your bag. That's something I ain't seen for years, shandy bass.
I'll buy you one next time.
Can you still get it?
Of course you can.
Bloody hell. What was the other one? God. Sovereign Siggy. That's actually what Heather smokes, Sovereign.
No, I don't.
I thought you had Sovereign.
No, I was on Rothmans. I'm now on Richmond.
Oh, Richmond's, that's it. I'm trying to think of that other one. Used to come in the tiny little cans. There was 2 of them. There was Watney's Pale Ale. Was one in the little tiny cans. And I can't remember whether it was Watney's did Cream Label. Do you remember that? Like a stout.
No, I remember Gold Label in the bottles.
No, there was
Barley
one called
wine.
Cream Label, a beer. I think it was a stout, if I remember rightly.
Barley wine and baby sham and cherry beer.
Oh, yeah, barley wine. Gosh, that used to send me fucking do-dally, that did. I used to drink it in pints. Red stout. Yeah, can anybody remember Cream Label and who did that one? I remember the name.
Cream
Label, yeah, it was like a stout. Mackerson was the other one. Brandy and Baby Sham. Mackerson's,
I was a
yeah.
Brandy and Baby Sham girl.
Yeah, I seem to remember. I think it was Watney's.
Hang on.
Mackerson's was
Gold
definitely
Label.
a form of stout, between a stout and a bitter.
Watney's.
Watney's,
Cream
it was
Label.
Watney's Cream Label. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was one that. Yeah, I didn't even know these were still available, Sapper. You know, I don't drink anymore, so I don't usually look along the beer aisle unless I'm looking for me energy drinks.
I used to like cherry beer and cider because you could go to the barman and ask for a leg over.
Bottle of Blue Nun. I'll tell you what, I went through a stage for a little while. We went, there's a sparkling, it's almost like a rosé wine, but to me it tasted like a pop.
Matthias?
Eh?
Matthias Rosé?
No, I can't remember.
That
No,
was
it
my
wasn't.
mother's. My
Black
mother
and
was a
tan,
Matthias girl.
No, it wasn't that. But I remember drinking about 6 bottles of it one day and I was fucking throwing up all over the place. But the black and tan, yeah, remember that. Light and bitters. Well, my preferred beer used to be light and bitter when I first started drinking, when I was playing darts. 14 is cheap. Well, I'll tell you what, Stuart, price-wise, the first time I walked into my local pub, I think I was about 14 at the time, it cost me 28 pence, as it was then, for a light and bitter pint. And you got nearly 3/4 of a pint of bitter and the bottle of light ale to add for taste. That's how long ago. Party 4s, yeah, Party 7s.
Oh yeah.
That's how I lost a lot of my teeth. I used to bite through the top because I never had the old piercing can opener. Disappeared, banana and coconut. Fuck, we're old, says Jason.
We are old.
Now, we used to have one down in Newquay. It was absolutely beautiful. Used to get a half-pint glass, a couple of shots of Malibu, and fill it up with ice-cold milk.
It sounds disgusting.
It was
always
absolutely gorgeous on a hot day. And then you got your furry animal, which is a pint glass, 4 gins, 4 Bacardi, fill it up with Coke with a lump of ice cream in the top. Sean, hello, darling. She's been having a drinky winky after work.
What about the Motorhead banger pint where it's just go along the shorts and go shot of that and keep going till it's full?
Oh, shot raiding.
No, Motorhead banger.
Oh, we used to just run along all the optics with a pint glass.
Motorhead banger.
Is that what you called it?
Yes.
Oh, righto. But there's a tip. If you're ever going along the optics and putting that sort of thing together, there was 2 drinks you could add to them as a shot, and it took all the nastiness taste away. I can't remember what they were called now. Taboo. Taboo, and there was another one along the same lines.
Taboo in itself is horrible. That's not a shot.
Yeah, but when you add it to a pint of shorts, it made it taste a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, so does Tia Maria. Tia Maria makes Guinness taste nice.
Yeah, but don't people get confused from England, Stuart, when you say, I want a glass of lemonade and you get this red liquid put in front of you? Mirage and Taboo. Thank you, wee one. Thank you. That was the other one I was trying to think of, Mirage. But yeah, that used to confuse a lot of people over in Ireland. You buy the kid a glass of lemonade and it was red.
Red in Scotland as well.
Yeah, you've actually got to ask, if I remember, for limeade to get the clear one. Yes, it was Lost Souls. We have brown lemonade, hence we always say white lemonade. Yeah, they used to tell us to ask for limeade. Yeah, drinks for fannies. Pernod. No, I don't like aniseed.
Love Pernod. And absinthe.
Well, I was always a real
And
ale or a
Sambuca.
bourbon man, usually. My mate owned a little brewery before he sold it, just outside Newquay. Steve Skinner. Apparently, it nearly went bust last year, but somebody saved it. He did actually do a special brew. Was it me? I think it was my 40th birthday. He did one called Psycho Knocker, which was my nickname at the time, Psycho. And he did one little batch as a tester with honey in it. And I liked it, and he called it Honey Knocker, and he made a special batch up of two kegs for me for my 40th birthday. One of which the lads drunk for nothing, big wooden, and the other one we sold off at £1 a pint for charity on the night. I had 3 steaks, medium rare, and 3 old fashioned the other day.
Is that the brandy?
On a fire. What, Asbach?
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
On the old speckled end right now. Yep. No, well, that was brewed in my hometown originally, Jason. It was brewed for the Silver Jubilee of the MG cars. Hence the shape of the badge, the octagon. And it was called the Old Speckled Hen because that was the name given to the blue car that was first built by MGs. There you go.
I like
Moreland's
relay.
Brewery has now been sold and it's run by Green King, but they still produce it. Originally, it was only in half-pint glasses, half-pint bottles, and it was a limited run for the Jubilee of the MG cars, and it took off and became that popular that they kept doing it. There you go. How about that? Cinzano, anywhere, anytime. Yeah. They used to do some really corny adverts, and they're all on YouTube as well. You can go back and watch those adverts for them and the old cinema adverts. There's loads of them on it. Cough candy, leave it 3 months. The alcohol tank goes 16 tastes awesome. Have a car. Oh no. But I do remember it was funny as fuck. I've said before, me and my dad with the landscaping company we used to look after Patrick Head's grounds and gardens, which is, he used to be the head honcho at Williams Formula One. Now, his missus was absolutely lovely. They had a swimming pool in the garden. And one of my jobs every year was to drain this pool, get in, clean it, refill it, change the filters. And if it was a nice summer day, we used to lay out on the loungers around the pool and have the lunch, me and the old man. And she come out one day with this bloody great big jug of Pimm's. She said, lads, I know it's a hot day. I know you need a cold drink, but here you go. And all I could, there was a gallon of this stuff in this fucking jug. And all I could think was, have you got any beer? Apparently not. But the mowing and painting of the pool and things didn't quite go to plan after the jug was empty. Needless to say, the old man didn't go a lot on drinking it because he was driving, but I had my fair share.
You drunk his share as well?
Bloody right. He used to drink my share of the cups of tea because I didn't like them. I used to order them and let him have them. But yeah, there's a lot of things coming out in there that I can remember now when I see it, but MasterCard. The funniest one I've ever seen, Beardy, was for the Silk Cut at the cinema. Silk Cut cigarettes. It's on here. Go back and watch it with the Zulus. It's absolutely piss funny. Buy a longer charge wire. Well, I'll tell you what I use, Gary. And these are about 2 bloody meters long. Is those.
I've already had one go down.
And literally, you just plug a thing into your charge socket in there. There's magnets on it, and you just connect it up.
I've already had one fail, though. They're not.
What, one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't throw mine around, do I?
Oh.
Fucking, I've got 11 messages on WhatsApp now. I can guarantee what they are.
Yes.
I know exactly what they are.
Yes, it's a conversation between 3 of us.
Lorraine Chase. Luton Airport, mate, innit? Drink German beer, no chemicals, no hangover, no problem. I wouldn't know anymore, Tony. I don't drink, so.
So no hangovers, no problem?
No hangovers, no problem. I don't get as many bruises over because I don't fall over so much. I don't get embarrassed by being carried home by the missus. Or being found asleep on the floor. Or sleep in the hedge in most cases back home, but I've never been a wine drinker, Gary. Even when I did drink alcohol, wine has never really interested me. I didn't like the taste of most of them. I have tried them,
I
But
like a nice red. Anybody's buying?
access credit cards, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest invasion we had, other than the Dutch beers, was Australia, wasn't it? With Forex, Castlemaine. What was the other one?
Oh,
Oh, fucking hell! They sponsored a touring car, for crying out loud.
the bloody.
Labatt's. No, that's Canadian, isn't it?
No. With what's his name?
Jason
No,
Plato.
that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh, Hogan. Victoria beer. That was it. Victoria Lager was the other Australian one.
Not what I'm thinking of.
Well, they were drinking Foster's on Crocodile Dundee. Paul Hogan. I'm sure it was Foster's. Oh, yeah, that's criminal. Yeah, they're all saying Foster's. I'm sure it was Foster's. But I remember the Australian ones: Foster's, Castlemaine,
Yeah.
Victoria Lager. There was one other one, but it was one that was not really well known and didn't sell over here. I mean, the worst one to me is Budweiser. I never even used to call that beer. So I always said the Americans don't know what real beer is. Hofmeister, follow the bear. Yeah, that was German, if I remember rightly. Yeah, trip. That was Castlemaine, the 4X. So that was brewed by a company called Castlemaine. But you know, you don't see a lot of these beers anymore. Castlemaine. Oh, what was the other one? The malt lager. Colt 45. That was another big seller around Oxford anyway. Dubel. Harp. Yeah, that's Irish lager. My nickname in the army was Hofmeister. Red Stripe. Yeah, that was another American, wasn't it, Rubber Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say, Beardy. I was really a real ale man. And that's what my mate's brewery used to produce.
Thank you, Stitch. That's what I was thinking. Castlemaine 4X.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Sorry. I'm looking at shit and reading shit.
But yeah, and Heather likes a good ale as well. Beardy.
Josh doesn't.
Yeah, Josh don't. Bud Light. Oh my God. Yeah, well, are we looking for Dylan? Grolsch, yeah, with the pop tops. They were brilliant if you did homebrew.
Double Diamond.
Gosh, that's an old one. No, that wasn't Watney's.
Watney Special Mild.
That's something I never used to see in a pub for what would pint of mild. Well, you might as well have had a pint of slops with it, but it looks like Matt might not be able to get into the stream. He's just sent me a message on Facebook. He's been having a lot of tech issues, and also YouTube have been fucking him over. And it's been happening a lot lately, especially in live streams, but mainly in the comments on videos. I am getting a lot more removed and hidden. So again, people, if I don't reply to a comment you put on a video, it's simply because they've hidden it that well. I haven't been able to find it, or for some reason the bots have picked up on a word in it and actually removed it. Most of them I do find, but I have had notification from quite a few subscribers that they are having trouble getting a comment through. Under each video, there is also an email. You can send me a comment through there if you want. If I do get them, I will reply to them, through the comments. Don't have to put a name in if you want to stay anonymous, absolutely fine. But if you want to have your say, there are other ways of getting in touch, and I will answer them. Tenant super for me. Yeah, there was lots of them.
Did you mention Breaker?
Eh?
Breaker.
Yes, there was a beer called
it was
Breaker.
a malt beer.
Yeah. Same as Colt 45.
When you were talking about it, I could not. It's taken me a while to Google it to find it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the censorship is going to get a lot worse. They've started to creep in now with a lot from the online safety bill just because they can. Although I'm not aware that Ofcom have actually set the rules yet, because they're the ones that are going to set the rules for it. The government have handed it to them. So, yeah, it's going to get a lot worse, unfortunately. I will put it in the description at some point, but I do also now have a Rumble account. I'll be honest, I don't do a live in there because the actual people that get in there and comment, pardon me, you do get a lot of dickheads in there. But if need be, I will use that platform, and it does take time for the videos to get posted, but the censorship is not quite as stringent. And Ofcom aren't dickheads. Yeah, exactly, we will. Exactly. Why they put them in charge. Yeah, they are. They're owned by the government, Jason. They're actually financed mostly by the government as well. So it's obviously they're going to do their bidding. All right, and Grumpy Supper, thanks for dropping in, mate. Always good to see you in here. You look after yourself, buddy. Stay safe out there. Yeah, it is, Tony. And it's only going to get worse. It sounds like a suicidal farewell. Yeah, take care of yourself, Bo. I'll see you next week or in the video somewhere through the week. I mean, we're not far off now. That's 10 to 7, and it's nearly time to put the oven on.
I'm not putting the oven on.
You're not? What we having then? Takeaway?
You said you wanted what you had last night.
Yeah, well, you still got to eat it up, haven't you?
Well, it's in a saucepan.
You still got to cook the bread.
I wasn't going to. I told you you can have bread and butter tonight.
Oh, all right. Bread and dripping. No, we had a beautiful stew yesterday, and there's still some left in the pot. So, yeah, feeding time. She does look after me, wee one, believe me. I probably wouldn't eat half as sensibly if I was on my own. We do have Chinese and we do have curries. Usually Heather makes them and freezes them. But it does get to the point sometimes where she doesn't want to cook, and I can quite understand it. She doesn't want to stand there and prep food. Absolutely understand that. So we just, as a treat now and again, yeah, we do have a takeaway.
But it's why I batch cook, because I can stand there and do all the chopping and all the cooking, and I'll have 3 or 4 pans going, making a curry or a sweet and sour or just a mince, and he'll come out and he'll go, "What's for tea?" And I'll say, "Take your pick." That's it, then he's bugging.
If I'm toast without... No, I'm not quite that bad, Holly.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You can cook, but you don't cook.
I'm quite happy opening a tin of them horrible hot dog sausages and shoving them in a bit of bread or doing some bacon.
That's nearly as bad as living on. You wouldn't bother eating 2 toasts. I know you.
Gary, leave Roger, I'm yours. No, I am carnivore.
Sorry, Gary. I've got lots of offers out there. You'd have to join the queue.
Yeah, it's a long queue. I was quite surprised. And I haven't even advertised her on her OnlyFans page yet, so.
And I can't leave him because this is my home, so got to get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly, wee one. And what she does, she puts them in batches that it's enough for the 2 of us for a meal. If you got people round and you want 4, then you just take 2 tubs out. Instant dinner, you know. It's all good home cooked food anyway, just frozen. It's going to be healthier than the frozen shit you get in the shops. Take a ticket, get to the back of the queue. Dan's been buying tickets for years.
Where would I have to move to, Gary?
Yeah, it does save money as well, wee one. I mean, quite often Heather and her daughter will go and buy the big packs of chicken and that, and they'll cook it or split it up. And
we used to do the market butchers on a regular basis and come back with carrier bags full.
Yeah. Nowadays, you're lucky if you can find the man out the back cooking it off over a fucking tropping trolley with a gas gun. I can light a good fire though, Beardy. I can actually cook, I just choose not to.
Keep talking, Gary. Yorkshire's beautiful.
I put unless I plant. Yep, absolutely, wee one. You know, it's literally the way it's going now. We're on an actual war footing with the way people are living. Make do amend. You know, that sort of mentality. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that just wouldn't be able to do that and can't do it. Yeah, how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? Bakewell tarts.
I love both Bakewell tart and pudding. In Bakewell, there was a little shop between 2 roads, and they used to do a black pudding made in like a cannonball mould, and they'd chop it in half. And
careful how you use the word chopping up black.
What?
Nothing, carry on.
And then my daughter used to go up there regularly to get it. Last time we went up, they'd stopped making it because they weren't selling enough of it. I was gutted. Wonderful, wonderful black pudding. And Bakewell.
Yeah, I got to say, probably bacon is my favourite meat. You know, it's a food group all on its own, isn't it? A bit like chocolate.
Oh, I always overcook when it's sausages or bacon. Trouble is, he just goes to the fridge and browses.
Some of that.
And he's like, I wanted that for tonight. And he's like, well, it's gone.
Right, guys, that is nearly 7 o'clock. I am starting to wane. I'm quite pleased with myself. Nobody shouted at me for the ciggies, and I've only had 2. Where normally through a 3-hour stream, as you all know, it could be anything between 15 and bloody 20. So I ain't done bad. But I am getting hungry, and that is sadly a trait of stopping smoking. you do tend to eat a bit more. But as always, guys, absolutely lovely to see you all in here. I did miss you all last week, actually.
Oh, don't forget Sunday.
Yep, Sunday Pack Live. I believe we're back to normal, 8 o'clock. There will be probably something from Simon, the Reverend Simon Sideways, tomorrow. He normally does a live Friday. He hasn't confirmed or said anything, and he does things on spec anyway, but it certainly won't be a live from his main channel. As far as I know, that isn't fixed yet.
Did Dan say something about appearing on?
Oh, yes, tonight, 9 o'clock. What's it called? The Veterans
PTSD camp thing.
Yeah, it's a Veterans Live show. Dan is actually a guest on there tonight.
I'm sure he'll be posting up a link to it somewhere.
I'm sure I got it in the listings here somewhere. Did I add it to the list?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Holly.
There you go. Late Night Veteran Show. That's it. I believe that's going out at 10 o'clock tonight. The link's there. They do a lot to support veterans with PTSD and stuff like that. There are a lot of veterans in there as guests. And because Dan's channel does donate to them, he's a guest on there tonight as well. And I think that's about it for lives over the weekend. There's probably drama streams that'll be going up everywhere. But guys, thank you ever so much for joining us this afternoon. Absolutely a nice, quiet, respectful stream, as I expect nothing less. I do run zero tolerance, as you know. Some people don't like it. Those that are here prove that they do. And that's good enough for me, because it's for you guys that I do this. So all I can say is have a wonderful weekend. Have a safe weekend. It's going to be cold, so wrap up if you're going out and watch that ice, especially those of you that are prone to falling off bikes. Bleach Demon, if you're still there. Yep, don't forget, hit the like button on the way out, guys. It can only help. I don't ask for anything, but hitting the like button does help the analytics a little bit. So, until the next one, as always, I will see those on Sunday night who appear there Sunday night. And stay safe, stay strong, and stay absolutely free from the bullshit they're putting out now.
Bye, everyone.
Respect and look after yourself, people, from me and
Bye,
from the
everyone.
lovely Mrs. W.
Love you all.
Take care, guys.